we're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me.
To all my subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back. And those that have not subscribed, you are in for a real treat today. All of you going to get to know me a lot better. Most of you already know I love to talk. However, I will be sharing with you my first job at 16, fast food jobs, I hated them, being a maid, hated it, picking crabs, hated it, and so much more. Also, my early retirement, I will be talking about, and I will tell you little nuggets that you can do before and after retirement. And look at me dancing there. And I will see you in a little bit.
Going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances?
I started working when I was 16 years old at Jimmy Fried Chicken in Riviera Beach, Florida. Everybody know about Jimmy Fried Chicken if they're about my age. Somebody said that chicken place is still open. Wow. My mom stopped me from working because my grades started dropping. And I used to go on Rosemary Avenue in Riviera Beach. If you stayed there, that was the place to go. But really not for young people at nighttime. But I was having a grand old time and my mom stopped that. I don't think she ever knew about the Rosemary Avenue. Anyway, after that I graduated. I worked at Lily Rubens in Palm Beach, the Ritzy area. Then I moved to Gainesville, Florida, because that's where my mom went, and I went to college there also. And no, that was before I went to college. I'm trying to think. Anyway, I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken for about a year. I really liked that because I really liked my boss that I worked for. And after there, somewhere in between, I might have worked at McDonald's for about a week. I worked as a maid for about a week. About killed me. Oh my God, that about killed me. I worked at a crab house. I got married. I worked at my father-in-law's office, hated it. And I had a child. We got divorced. And then I came back, went to college and stayed at my parents. And then I came back to where I am now. I worked at the bank for 15 years. Worked for myself ever since I left the bank. But I took the good parts from the bank. The financial part really helped me with having a business for myself. And then after that, I kept kids. I became a doula. And you'll always hear me talk about that. Being a doula that was my passion. I have always loved pregnant women. And I got to work on the calming side. I was a birth assistant. You know, if you do that for a long time, I did it for about 10 years and I was ready. I still love the birthing process, but I didn't like that telephone ringing all the time. My husband said, well, you don't have to work. And that was the best news I could have ever heard. Let me tell you, people ask me, was I bored? No. The first year, I did not do anything. All I did was watch Korean movies. Okay, I thought I could speak Korean after a while. The following year, I went to Australia. And I went to, because that's where my son stays with his 7 kids now. I'm always getting, there's so many of them. He got 6 boys, and just had a little girl. She's 6 months now, I'm pretty sure. And they said they were stopping there. And I'm like, why? You need to have 3 more. Okay. So I went there, stayed for 3 weeks, had I want to go again before I get too old. And then I came back home. And then I cleaned the house. Because you know women, when y'all working, you know how the house, you ain't got all them dust bunnies out of there. So it took me a while to really clear the house out. Then after that, I started to keep myself busy. I started going to the gym. I started meeting up with friends. I started going to the coffee shop and everything. So it was an enjoyable time in my life, okay? But then COVID hit. It just put a stop to everything. I never went back to the gym since COVID came. One of my friends moved away. So it got really, I'm not going to say lonely, because I am a loner. I always tell people that I'm a loner home, but you know, I'm an extrovert outside the home. It really affected a lot of us, where now still it's a problem going out. But let me stop here, because I want to get me something to drink, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's some hours later, but I'm back and I still need a drink. Now, I talked a little bit about my work history, but that's enough about me. Now we're going to talk about you retiring or you leaving that job. One thing I can say about job leaving and you're just ready to go, that takes a leap of faith. And we'll talk about that another time, but we're going to talk about retiring, even if you retire at 62. Okay? But let me tell you, you got to make some plans when you're retiring and you're not going back to work. The first thing I would say is, you don't need any bills. You know, and it would be nice if you didn't have a mortgage. You didn't have to pay rent, and just, you know, make it more enjoyable. Another thing too, you're thinking that you can't live off less, but you can. You'll be amazed. I'm amazed at how much less I can live off of. Look what I do to my clothes. I get one pieces and I take them and use a scarf for my head, use it for a little skirt or cover up. There are so many different things you can do. Make sure you don't have those credit card bills. Just as least debt as possible is the best part of retirement. And then once you get that all figured out, you have your plan in place. But I'm telling you, when that door is open, it's nothing but freedom. You can do whatever you want to do. Whatever. Can you imagine? Can you imagine doing whatever you want to do? And people will say, are you bored? No, I'm not bored. Like I said in the beginning. And no, I'm not keeping your children either. I don't need that to have excitement in my life. But I'm telling you, that's one of the greatest things that you can do, as my dog ring the doorbell, is to retire early while you still have some youth left. You have the quality of life left. And that's the main thing too, having that quality of life left. And you can continue to work and you can do what you want to do. That's the best part. You can do what you want to do. It's like me coming out of retirement to do YouTube. But I can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm done with YouTube. But I'm not. That's one thing about baby boomers. We are hard workers. We start something, we gonna finish it. But I'm so glad that all of you came back, the ones of you that subscribe to my channel, and the ones that have not, hit that button. Hit it now and become part of this family, and welcome to my home. Again, I am Betty J. Gathers, daughter of Jean Grey. And you come on back, because I am gonna be here, and you know what I'm gonna say. Let's go.
I have loved you quite some time.